Skeet Ulrich and Marisol Nichols confirmed they were exiting the comic book-based show after 4 years. What fans didn't expect, however, is that the show would write off Jughead. Or were they? Welcome to Riveted, where we'll be talking about the truth about Cole Sprouse quitting Riverdale. We're also giving away $100 gift cards, and all you have to do is include the hidden word from this video in your comments. Ulrich played Jughead's father and had been a series regular since the second season. The town sheriff had stepped up to become a father figure to Archie following his father's death, who was portrayed by Luke Perry. Ulrich said in a statement to TV Line, "I'm incredibly grateful for the friendships I've made on Riverdale, and I will miss seeing everyone on a daily basis. I'm proud to have been part of such a talented group of people in front of the camera and behind. But I've decided that it's time for me to move on to explore other creative opportunities." Ulrich will be starting work on the Free Ray Sean for Quibi and star alongside Tom Hanks in the film Bios. Marisol also spoke about her departure in the same interview. Fans were disappointed that the show was writing off the adults, especially since Ulrich and Nichols' departures from Riverdale came after the death of their co-star Luke Perry, who played Fred Andrews. Many believe that it's only a matter of time before Madchen announces her exit as well. Riverdale has been teasing Jughead's death since the beginning, and as the mystery slowly unfolded, fans started to wonder if they would actually kill him. The speculations of his death go back to an episode in Season 2. The episode ended in Jughead being badly beaten and carried off screen by his father, and Cole took to Twitter with a message that had some fans thinking he may be leaving the show for good. Before Season 3 aired, Cole congratulated the cast and crew of Riverdale on landing the third season, but didn't seem to include himself in the well wishes. As fans know, the third season ended back in May 2019 with the super intense finale. In true Riverdale style, the final episode totally left fans with a total cliffhanger. During the last scene, the show flashed forward to the future, and viewers can see Archie, Betty, and Veronica standing around a fire. They're all in their underwear, covered in blood, and holding Jughead's infamous beanie. But the final member of the Core Four is missing. His apparent death had fans worried about losing one of the show's most beloved characters. Cole Sprouse didn't confirm or deny leaving Riverdale, and even though the CW renewed the series for a fifth season, it hasn't revealed any casting updates. When talking about the future of the show with E.T., Cole didn't exactly confirm his character's death, but he didn't deny it either. The actor dished on what he thought would happen to the characters after they graduated high school, and seemingly left Jughead's name out of his answer. All clues pointed to Jughead's untimely demise. In the scene at the end of Episode 4, Chapter 61, Halloween, Betty and Jug's dad, FP, are in the coroner's office identifying Jughead's body. Flash forward to scenes in Episodes 5 and 8. They show Archie, Betty, and Veronica being arrested and taken to the police station after being charged with Jughead's murder. In Episode 13, Chapter 70, The Ides of March, Donna tries to trigger Betty's evil side by saying a word that will hypnotize her into hurting her friends and family. Then, when Archie and Veronica leave the Ides of March party in the woods, they find Betty in a daze, standing in front of Jughead's body with a huge rock in her hand. Archie rushes to check Jughead's pulse, and when he doesn't find one, he says Jughead is dead. A funeral was even held for Jughead. Donna shows up and begins to question why the casket is closed. FP gives a tearful eulogy, and Betty adds her own, reading a passage from Jug's favorite Sherlock Holmes short story, The Final Problem, which featured Sherlock's death. After eulogies from FP and Betty, Donna attempts to interrogate Jughead's sister Jellybean before Betty kicks her out, along with fellow Stonewall prep classmate Brett, who attempts to sneak and look inside the casket. Of course, we also didn't believe that Jughead was dead. Why would Cole want to leave this job? He gets to hang out with his friends and his girlfriend while creating one of the most popular shows on TV. No one is leaving that situation voluntarily. According to IMDb, it doesn't look like Cole has any major projects coming up, aside from his new movie Undercover, but movies shouldn't cause Cole to leave the show. Many of the Riverdale stars, including Cole, have starred in movies throughout the 4 seasons without having to leave the show. With 2 additional cast members leaving the series after the conclusion of Season 4, it is also unlikely the CW series would lose a third star in Cole Sprouse. And fans came up with all sorts of theories to keep Jughead in the show. According to one theory, Jughead and Betty decided to fake Jug's death so they can get Donna, Brett, and Mr. DuPont off their case once and for all and start anew. Years ago, 4 students referred to as the Stonewall Four went missing from the school without a trace and were never seen again. Before his death, Jughead was on the hunt to find out what really went down between them, and if he kept digging and found out his enemy Brett Weston Wallace's relatives were involved in the mysterious disappearance years ago, there's no doubt he would fake his death to stay alive and ensure his safety. One Reddit user wrote, "Those scenes are from the script of The Perfect Murder he's writing, and that is what they've been showing to throw us off and make us watch more. There's no way they'd actually kill off the main character as important as Jughead." Jughead was still trying to get ownership of the Baxter Brothers book back, so he was creating a mystery even juicier than the one that his classmates wrote. To really make his point, Jughead is acting out the mystery and faking his own death in the process. Also, not only is Jughead Jones the main character in Riverdale, but he's part of what makes up the Archie comics. He also just happens to be the narrator of the series, which naturally had viewers wondering how the producers could possibly kill off the very person explaining what happens in the show. Some other fans believed that Dylan Sprouse was going to join the Riverdale cast Jughead's lookalike cousin, Souphead. First introduced in 1943's Archie Comics number 4 and created by writer Ed Goggin, Souphead looks and dresses exactly like Jughead. Souphead hasn't been the most popular character Archie Comics ever created. He only appeared in 24 or so issues, as well as on the Archie radio show from the 40s, which again is perhaps because he is a man whose main character trait is a love of broth and related products. Fans suggested that Souphead was the one who actually died, not Jughead. How epic would it have been if the actor joined his brother in the CW show? Well, it turns out the fans were right. Well, not about Dylan joining the cast, but the other parts. Jughead is hiding out in the bunker in an effort to convince the Stonewall Preppies that he is actually dead, so that they'll crack and reveal the plan they had to kill him and pin it all on Betty. Apparently, the beanie cushioned the blow from the rock, so it didn't work when they tried to kill him. And everybody was in on the cover-up, including Mary, Jellybean, Charles, and eventually even Alice. FP must have been filled in on the plan later, since Charles had to trick him into handing over the bloodied rock. It's likely that he was told what was really going on before organizing the search party. Dr. Curdle was drawn into the conspiracy so that he could examine the body and officially declare Jughead to be dead. Jellybean would have naturally been told as well, since Jughead wouldn't want to put his sister through the trauma of thinking he was dead. Jughead might not be dead, but the gash on his forehead and the fact that both Donna and Brett believed he was dead and tried to frame Betty for it confirms that there was at least an attempted murder on the night of the Stonewall party. As part of the ongoing battle of wits between the Stonewall Preppies and the Riverdale gang, it appears that Brett and Donna went to the party with the intention of killing Jughead, and Jughead went there with the intention of being killed, or rather, making it look like he had been. Jughead's charade continues as the whole gang tries to figure out what the hell is going on at Stonewall, which we know is all being led by the maniacal Donna. Donna's not giving up, though. She informs Betty that she's seen her sex tape with Jughead and tracks her every move, watching as Betty brings a takeout order from Pops Down into Dilton's bunker. When she follows, she finds Betty in there with Archie. They only kiss to fool Donna, and Archie is soon back in bed with Veronica, giggling about their little gambit. While Betty and Archie exchange some intimate late-night texts, Donna still thinks Jughead is alive after spotting a third milkshake in the bunker, and when Brett tries to get her to move on, Donna slaps him silly and threatens to kill him next. Though at the very end of the episode, the group learned that Donna isn't actually Donna, and it gave Jughead a great idea about how to take down his Stonewall enemies. Several fans were irritated that the potentially thrilling conspiracy arc was staggered by the lame explanation and romantic drama when Betty kissed Archie to make the ruse more convincing. Most fans seemed to agree Jughead's fate was a foregone conclusion, and it was no use for the writers to string along with viewers with an overlong mystery plot. Hopefully, with the convoluted fake murder mystery plot out of the way, Riverdale can streamline its plotting for the next season and deliver a more satisfying mystery next time around. Okay, so what else made the crew fake the death? Jughead had to pull off the perfect murder for his Baxter Brothers novel. For those who missed it, earlier in the season, Jughead took on his Stonewall prep schoolmates in a writing competition. The winner of said contest would become the next ghostwriter of the Baxter Brothers mystery books. Naturally, Jughead and his epic writing skills won, so his novel was in the works. But when the Baxter Brothers board didn't like any of his mystery novel pitches, he decided that faking his own death would make for the perfect mystery novel storyline. Lying in the bunker with Jughead, Betty points out that being dead has bought him crucial time to investigate another murder, that of his former English teacher, Mr. Chipping. After agreeing to help Jughead expose the truth about the first Baxter Brothers novel, Mr. Chipping came to class, looking shaken, and told the students that they would be discussing Joseph Conrad's Heart of Darkness. He then told Jughead he was sorry he couldn't help him before jumping out of the classroom window to his death. Jughead was horrified, but none of the other students in the class looked surprised. Jughead came to the conclusion that the Preppies had somehow murdered Mr. Chipping or forced him to commit suicide through blackmail, especially after it came to light that they'd all done a writing exercise in which they wrote suicide notes for their late teacher. Jughead was investigating Mr. Chipping's death when he was expelled from Stonewall on false charges of plagiarism. He was unable to defend himself against these charges because of leverage that Brett had over him in the form of a secretly filmed tape of Jughead and Betty having sex. Unable to work against the Preppies in the open, Jughead concluded that he would have to do it from beyond the grave. With that being said, fans are looking forward to Season 5. There's a theory that Season 4 of the show will end with a 5-year time jump, meaning the core 4 will be 23 when we return next season. Not only would this explain the departure of Skeet Ulrich and Marisol Nichols, who announced they would not be returning as F.P. Jones and Hermione Lodge next season, but it would also solve the complicated problem of college. Fans think that a new mystery in Riverdale will bring the gang back together after separating for school, and that's where we will pick back up in the first episode. And that brings us to the end of the video today. Cole Sprouse is definitely not quitting Riverdale, and we can't wait to see what the showrunners have in store for us in Season 5. This has been Riveted, and we publish amazing videos daily.